Good morning, beautiful. It is great to see you, and I'm inside because there's just a bit too much wind out there. But I hope you saw the photographs I took from the top of the hill. It's quite lovely up there. It's all these grey clouds, but they're beautiful designs, nature, right? And speaking of nature, this is a little shell that lives on the crystal shells. I don't know why, I just put it there. And I've had it for a long time because I picked this up, or someone in my family picked this up when I was small. No, I don't know what species of mollusk it is, but isn't it fabulous? It's just beautiful. And for some reason today, it wanted to come and show off. That's where the little beast had its home. And, it's just perfect the way it spirals up. Good morning, Robin. It's lovely to see you. Good morning, Julian. Welcome to the bridge, Captain. So, here we are, and because we're inside, of course I've got rocks. And our good friend, the purple blue fluorite, which hopefully you can see when the light reflects off. It actually is purple. You can sort of see some light coming through there. But, look, you can actually see... I think, not in there. There are lots of rainbows in this one. Let me see if I can show you. It all depends on if the light's in the right place. There's tons of rainbows in there, but it's quite hard to see them. What I will do, because I do this every time, because otherwise you miss this rock, is just show you what happens when you put the light behind it, which is the most fabulous thing, because then you can really see how blue it is. And apparently it's quite unusual. This piece is from the Okaruso mines, the Musina mines in Okaruso in Africa. And it's glorious. So there you have it. Talk about seeing through a glass darkly. It's beautiful. Well, it's warm here, so we'll take some of what you got and some of what I got, and it'll be just about right. So, there's the fluorite that I wanted you to see. It's a beautiful colour. And the other rock we have today is this one. And quartz, right, but not from Brazil, from China, which is perhaps a little unusual, but there you go. And, there it is. It's actually getting a little bit misty on the outside, I think, because my hands are condensing moisture, or they're transpiring moisture, and it's condensing on the outside of the stone. Either that or I'm seeing things. So there's a little bit of rainbowishness going on in the plane there. But mostly this crystal doesn't have a lot of water inside it. You've got to have water to have rainbows. But I love it. It's got all these different planes inside. They catch the light. It's not perfect, and I love that it's not perfect. It's just beautiful. And look, there's something quite magical about looking through the bottom of it. Look, it's catching, right there, it's catching the green from the outside and refracting it through to us. Isn't that magic? What light does when it passes through a prism. So there you go. I'm enjoying this today. It's just lovely. So, today I want to talk about making your dreams come true before they've happened. Because, of course, this is the whole quantum model of creation that I have learned and am studying and am practicing myself. My role model, my inspiration, and the source of much of my learning now is Dr. Joe Dispenza, because he does this himself and he teaches lots of other people how to do it, and they do it. And there's a lot of science around it, and we know that it works. Because when there's 519 people telling stories about how it's worked for them, you can't really ignore that. Hi, Farah, great to see you. It's difficult to ignore people who stand up and say, well, I was this way and now I'm that way, and I have the evidence to prove it, whatever that evidence is. So, each of us, just by being human, naturally wants something. Even if it's just, well, I'm hungry and now I want some food, okay? There is a point in your life where you are here and you want to be there. And it might be as simple as walking into another room to get a drink of water, But as soon as I'm here and I think I want a drink of water, my brain knows that I've got to get up and I've got to open the door because it's shut at the moment, because I shut myself in so I don't fill up the whole house while I'm talking with you, leave my husband in a bit of peace. I've got to open the door, I've got to get a glass, I've got to stick it out. I know how I'm going to get from where I am now to where I want to be, where I have that drink. No surprise, right? And the thing is that a lot of the things that we want in our lives, we know how to get from where we are to where we want to be. But when you don't know how to get from where you are to where you want to be, and this is what I fell over for decades because I didn't understand, that was where I was stuck. I was like, well, I can't see how I'm going to become financially independent. I can't see how I'm going to get $100,000 to do all the work on my house that needs doing. I can't see, it's not possible, I have this chronic condition, nobody's telling me that it can get better. How can that happen? There's no love of my life in my life, and I've looked for decades, and, how can that happen? This isn't all me, but you get the idea. Because this kind of came out of the conversation we had yesterday about long-term challenges that just don't seem to go away and don't seem to get better, or that it only really changes very, very slowly, right? And you just think, oh, why is this so hard? And we talked about the chemical addiction and, how we get accustomed to being who we are and how much effort it can be to become somebody else. And then I thought, well, if today is Technique Tuesday, then what technique do I want to do? And I decided I wanted to talk to you a bit more in depth about this crazy thing of becoming somebody else when you don't know who that self is. Because if you've been financially straightened as in the straits, as in, financially constricted, that's a better word, financially struggling your entire life, for example, it's very hard to imagine yourself not like that. You may say, oh, it'd be wonderful if I got all this money. But then when you get the money, you find that you're still scared to spend it. You're running around like this person who's been, absolutely on the bones of their ass for the last 40 years, and you may have $5 million, but you don't feel like the person who has $5 million. So who is that person? And I am totally living this right now. Not $5 million, but something else. Something that's just about as important, or maybe more so. Through a series of circumstances, which I won't take the time to tell you, I find myself in an entirely new life. That entirely new life is because my husband has taken over a chunk of the work that I was doing last year in my contracting. Now he's earning, and suddenly I've got more time. And really, I have been under pressure for the last 20 years. Long story, forget the, that's just a fact. I've been under pressure for the last 20 years, and particularly since 2014, when I, started wearing two hats, for certain, for trying. Hi, Nora, lovely. And I got really determined and made a big choice and, started this thing of wanting to create my own thing. And here I am, it's 2021. I haven't done it yet, quote unquote. Lots of challenge, lots of difficulties, and the last few years, because things have started to grow, I've been under a lot of time pressure. And I have forgotten what it means to relax. I've forgotten what you do when there's nothing pressing on you that has to be done. And now that I find myself in this situation of actually having time, it's so tempting to go back to being busy, and I won't do it because I don't want to do it, and I understand it's part of who I've been. It's created my physical situation. It's created everything. I don't want to be that person anymore. But who the hell am I when I'm not so busy? I don't have time to notice all the fear and the stuff that comes up when there's space for me to notice it. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this business of creating a new self. Yeah. And so there's no point getting $5 million, as you say, Robin, if you're still scared to spend it. So what we have to do And there's no point, and I've thought about this, if somebody waved a magic wand, because I've had so much, oh my God, the amount of crap that my brain has been throwing at me in the last little while. And I know what's going on. I understand that all of the stuff is coming up because it's got space to do so I can overcome it. But let me tell you, it's been rugged inside my head some days. I was thinking to myself just this morning, if somebody just made all my physical things go away, and look, it's nothing, really. The crap that some people deal with, this is nothing. But you would think if you were inside my head that I was going to die. This is just what happens. Jocelyn, good morning. And I thought if somebody made all that stuff go away, boom, it's all fixed now. What would happen is, in my mind, I would still be doing what I've recognised that I do, which is I'm always looking for the next brick to fall. That hasn't changed yet. I'm in the process of changing that. It's rugged, it's hard. But that's what's created my situation. And it wouldn't matter if somebody, magically made all my illness go away and it's zip, right? I would just recreate it because I'm afraid of it, and I have this clear intention that shit's going to come and this elevated emotion of fear, and that'll do it. That will program the gene right back into the old self. And I think that's what happens often, when you have a person, they have some kind of thing, a diagnosis, they get the treatment, it goes away, and then it comes back. It's because they haven't actually changed who they are inside that created that thing in the first place. So I understand this. Doesn't make it easy, but I understand this. And I'm not speaking, pie in the sky, talking out of my ass. This is real for me. So one of the things that I have learned and understood about creating my future with my eyes open, it's easy with my eyes closed and I'm not going to do this, okay? I don't have time. You can only talk around the process of getting so deep beyond myself, forgetting who I am, forgetting that I'm in time, forgetting I'm anywhere, forgetting about anyone I know, forgetting about my body, forgetting about all the stuff that goes on in my head when I'm awake and, paying attention. Getting so deep beyond all of that I can focus my entire attention upon who I'm becoming. That's a different thing. That to me is today it was sweet relief. It was just, oh my God, now I remember who I am again. Okay, I'm not climbing the walls. It was so good. But also I have to do it with my eyes open. So I want to talk about that. And what I understand, and if you don't do that meditation work, if you don't want to do that meditation work, but maybe you do other things, what I understand is that we need to use all of our senses in creating who we want to be. So if you are imagining yourself wealthy, let's use the common thing. Most people would enjoy having more money. And if you have money but you don't feel safe with it, well then you can imagine feeling safe with your money. Or if you're in a healthy body but you're constantly afraid of getting sick, then you can imagine feeling safe in your body. It's like, what is it that you want to feel and how do you want your life to be? So what I understand is you don't actually want to visualize. And people go, I'm visualizing. Yeah, but if you're doing that, you're just seeing it with your eyes. Right? This is something I heard Joe say. If you visualize a picture of a red car, or if you visualize a red car, for example, you want a red car, you will get a picture of a red car. No, you have to put yourself in the seat. In your imagination, you have to sit in the seat, feel the weight of your body on the seat, feel it supporting you. It's a really nice seat. It wraps around you. It's one of those ones that adjusts perfectly, that you push a button and it, pre-organized settings, and it just wraps around you. You feel so good. And the steering wheel is just the right size, and it goes up and down and in and out so that it's perfect for you, and you can see beautifully, and you can smell the inside of the car, which for me is not brand new because I hate the stench of new plastics. It's horrible. It smells really nice in there, and you can see the dashboard, and you see what controls you want in it, and is it electric? Can you hear the motor? Can you hear no motor? Can you just hear road noise? What is it like as you're driving, as you're turning? What can you see? What shape is the windscreen? Is it tinted? Is it not? What are you hearing? Is there a really nice stereo in there? Or do you not like listening to music as you drive? Where are you driving with this car? Who's in the car with you? How do you feel in this car? And you're putting all of your awareness into that thing. Now it's getting real to you. And you do have a red car, Nora. I've seen the picture. Red cars. Now it's getting real to you. It really is. And the more you put your attention on the thing, and Joe does these exercises with people in his advanced workshops. And I haven't been to an advanced workshop. It's on my to-do list. Where he actually gets people to manifest objects out of thin air. And they do it, right? And I know because I've heard some of them tell their stories on the testimonial reel. I remember this lady who, she manifested a magic wand. She wanted a magic wand, right? And, she couldn't decide if she wanted to have a star on the end or not, but she wanted a magic wand. Good morning, Jen! And so she did the thing, and I know what they do is they look at it from the outside, they get underneath it, they get on top of it, they get one side, the other, they get inside it, they love on it, they put the energy into it, they feel it, they smell it, they taste it, they listen to the sound. How does it feel when you wave the magic wand? They get totally in touch with the experience, and they love on the thing to put the energy into it, and then they actually let it go. I let it go, but they feel the connection with this thing. And just let it go. And this lady, she carried on, they do this in a meditation. She carried on. They had another meditation. It was a walking meditation. I think it was right. I get mixed up. I don't know if she was just walking along and she saw this magic, but she just picked this magic wand up. And there was this sparkly thing with this star on the end and ribbons. It's beautiful. There's my magic wand. People manifest stuff out of thin air. They do it with money, by the way. They do it with partners, relationships, breakthroughs in business. It's the same thing. You have to get so inside and become one with and connected with the object or the thing or the life you want to live that it's really real to you. Now, what that does is when it gets really real to you, real enough, it's, oh my God, and even when you don't really get it, okay, even when you're saying, oh God, this is pushing shit uphill, I don't get this, but you keep putting your attention on the thing that you desire. You're forcing sometimes, like pushing shit uphill. You are forcing your brain to think in new ways and make new connections. You are physically making changes in your brain. And there's been research been done to show that that's literally what happens. When you think about a thing without ever doing it, if you think about it enough and you practice it and repeat it over and over again, the brain makes connections in exactly the same way as if you were doing it. No difference between a really focused, attending thought and the physical activity. And it changes the body as well. It doesn't just change in the brain, it physically changes the body. Again, there's research to support that. So we know this is true. So it all depends upon your willingness to really get inside and experience in advance what you desire in your life. So if that's to feel not only that you have plenty of resources, but to feel really safe to spend them, well, how does that feel? And where are you? And what are you doing? And what are you wearing? And, get into that situation. And you have these people who do exercise of these things, and they do the work and they forget about it, and sometimes in a week and sometimes in 2 years, the situation finds them and they suddenly realize, oh my God, here I am. That's amazing. I created that with love all that time ago, and here it is. So to literally change your brain in advance of the experience turns out that you change your brain to look like At least some aspect of the experience has already happened, and the more you do that, the more it really does begin to be that it's happened because it's in your brain. Excuse me. And remember, when you fire a new thought, you get new neurotransmitters, you get new hormones, you get new chemical messages to your cells, and you change the expression of the proteins in your body, and your body starts to look also like the experience has already happened. This is science. We just have to do the challenging part of putting ourselves there and making it more real to ourselves than everything else that's going on inside our skin and outside. And that's not easy, which is why a lot of people don't do it. Andrew, good morning. But when you do it, what you get is the ability to overcome your circumstances, the ability to be greater than your body, the ability to be greater than your fears, greater than the hardwired automatic voices in your head that say, no, you're going to get sick, you're going to die, bad things are going to happen to you, you can't do that, it's not possible, don't bother trying to manifest money, Maddie, because it'll never happen. It'll happen really slowly, it always takes a long time for you. This is what happens in my head. Am I going to continue to be that? And the answer is no. So I broke that state this morning. I'm so grateful I did. Oh my God, it was so painful, and so good to move through it. And I know I'll meet myself again today. Jenny, great to see you. I know I'll face myself again because these are so automatic. I probably inherited these synaptic connections from my parents because they went through so much lack. And there was so much fear, Most people who grew up through the Second World War had those kind of challenges. Because we do inherit some synaptic connections from our parents, and we get a lot of stuff from, the last 10 million years. And then there's your experience. It's nature and nurture. And, the me that is in my future feels safe, feels abundant, independent of everything. And when I am that, of course everything else is going to line up. It's just ask about face. It's back to front. It's not what we've been told is true. But for me, this is the truth now. And it's the only truth that works for me and what I want to live by. So that is my Technique Tuesday. You got to make it real. You got to get inside the car. You got to get inside your life where your wallet is full, your bank account has 7 zeros in it, or whatever it is you want, or the house is done up, whatever. And I will see you in 3.5 hours if you want to jump on and be with me when I give you an update on our Sang Marie Gomez in the Gambia. It's exciting times for him. So I'll look forward to seeing you then. Otherwise, tomorrow. Big love. Bye-bye.